Does India need an official national language or link language, and should that language be Hindi? It's a question that becomes controversial whenever it is brought up, and this time the furor is even louder. It started with Home Minister Amit Shah saying on Hindi Divas this weekend that he hopes Hindi would be the national language and represent India on the global stage. 2 days later, the outrage continues with even Karnataka Chief Minister and BJP leader B.S. Yediyurappa chiming in that in the state of Karnataka, Kannada would be the principal language. Meanwhile, political leaders from Kamala Hassan to Shashi Tharoor and M.K. Stalin have lashed out at the BJP for what they say is an imposition of Hindi on a country as diverse as India. But politics aside, the real issue is, what is the common link language that allows people from different parts of the country to communicate? And is English the real target of this bid to make Hindi the official national language? To speak more on this today and to represent all views, I am joined by Ratan Sharda, writer and political analyst, Garga Chatterjee, political analyst, and Professor C.B. Sharma, Chairman of National Institute of Open Schooling. Welcome to all of you and thank you for joining us. Garga, let me begin by asking you why there is such a controversy over this statement. We know that every year on Hindi Divas, similar statements are made by whoever is the relevant minister at that point. We've been seeing the clip of P. Chidambaram saying this. So on Hindi Divas, everyone comes and says it's a really important language, a lot of Indians speak it, it should be the national language. Why has it become such a controversy this year round?
The controversy has started from 1947 itself. It is not a new controversy.
Yeah.
The Congress party was the original party of Hindi imperialism, which tried to impose Hindi on non-Hindi people and make non-Hindi people second-class citizens in their own country. Now the governing party is BJP, they are continuing the same principle. Let us understand certain things very clearly. Indian Union was not formed on the basis of any language. However, the states were formed on the basis of languages, particular languages. Okay? In front of the law and in terms of every right, all Indian citizens of all linguistic backgrounds are equal. That even includes their India's face to the world or whatever. Okay? Even there, every Tamil has the same right as any Hindi person or as any Bangla person or any Marathi person. But in practical terms, Indian non-Hindi people are becoming second-class citizens, and let me demonstrate how. 90% of central government exams do not happen in non-Hindi languages, happen in Hindi English. Okay, so a person from Tamil Nadu who is from Tamil medium is at a disadvantage from a Hindi person from Hindi medium.
No, so no, wait a minute.
For example, let's say SSC exams.
No,
okay?
one minute, Garga, you. The reason I'm stopping you. The reason I'm stopping you is because you, the argument you're making is diverting the core issue. You're talking about Hindi versus other Indian languages. I'm not even going to say regional languages. I'll say Hindi versus other Indian languages. And Amit Shah made it clear in that speech and even later that he is not saying that Hindi should be, expanded at the cost of any other Indian language. The question is, which shall be the link language? Now, Garga, you also agree that you need one common language for people to talk?
Yes, very briefly.
Yeah, like you and me are speaking right now. I don't know Bengali.
No, very briefly.
You and me are speaking right now. We're all having this conversation ironically in English. Is the real question Hindi versus English?
Now, two, three questions, so 2-3 issues that were brought up. When Amit Shah said that all languages are important, etc., I hope that he will reflect this in the government exams and tenders and websites where in all scheduled languages everything should be available. What a Hindi person from UP should have rights in terms of Hindi, a Bangla person from Bengal should have the same rights. That's number one question. About the question of link language. What is being linked and who are being linked? Essentially, the Hindi imperialist project is Marwari businessmen, Gujarati businessmen and overflowing population of cowbelt has to be linked with job, business opportunities in non-Hindi lands. So you have to have an ideological cover for that. All imperialists all over, even in Pakistan, Urdu was being imposed in the same way.
Yeah.
Same logic.
It was actually
same
Punjabi.
Logic to the last word.
It was actually Punjabi, not Urdu.
Same logic.
They have a problem with Punjabi. But
No,
anyway,
no,
I'm going to open up the debate. I'm going to open up the debate. I'm going to open up the debate. And I'm going to come to Ratan Sharda first. I'm going to come to Ratan Sharda first. Professor, I will come to you, but let me come to Ratan Sharda first. Okay. The question is that why should Hindi have a special status rather than other languages? First of all, do we need an official national language? Right now, we don't have an official national language. We have official languages and there are many, and Hindi is one of them. The language in which the government communicates are Hindi and English. Do we need the imposition of Hindi as the primary language?
I do not understand how does promotion of one language oppresses other languages, or tries to impose other languages. This is the language typically used by divisive politicians. Now let me put some facts. I will first ask all those political leaders and all those ministers how many of their children are studying in their mother tongue or they are studying English language. Let's just be honest. So this is the first answer to people who claim that they represent their local languages. Right from Malayali to Tamil to Kannada, most of the leaders have their children either studying in outs of India or studying in English. That is the reason you have this first of this problem. I'll give you some statistics. Bengali use dropped from 8.3% to 8.03% in last 70 years. Tamil dropped from 6.3 to 5.7. Malayali from 3.62 to 2.88. Telugu from 7.87 to 6.7. Marathi from 7.4 to 6.86. Hindi increased from 39 to 43.36%, English from 0.02% to 12.18%. Now did anybody canvass? English was promoted all through, right from Mr. Nehru's time, when Gandhiji probably chose him because many communists themselves say that he spoke good English and he knew foreign lands. So if that was the case, then in spite of all the promotion, English has eaten the regional languages. Who is responsible for that? Triple language formula. Why it was not taken up sincerely by the Congress and the left secular parties who ruled the country for last 70 years? Was Amit Shah there at that time? Was Modi at that time? Creating an outrage is a business of these people because anything he says has to be made into a controversial statement. He said regional languages first. Now last question, since you have called me and people throw RSS at me, what did Guruji said in 1957? He said, I consider all languages as national languages. They are equally our national heritage. Hindi is one amongst them, which by virtue of being spoken countrywide can be adopted as or has been adopted as the state language in many places. Now coming to this particular issue of imposition, as I noted, why these people cannot use themselves, and we have the whole thing. Gandhiji, since everybody quotes Gandhiji very lovingly, he said, first he said I want Hindi, finally he said I want Hindustani. What is Hindustani? Hindi is sprinkled with some Urdu words. So there is no problem. Will they accept Hindustani since Gandhi said it with sprinkling of Urdu? I am fine. They don't hate that, then I am fine. Ambedkar said, when Nehru said that we can have two languages, Hindi and English, because he was wary of Hindi.
Can I request you to
one
come
language
to the current
can unite
day?
People, two language can divide people.
No,
so why not have one language? He asked for Sanskrit.
Most
of the Indian languages have commonality with all the Indian languages.
Yes.
Just a moment. Just a moment, please. All the Indian languages have commonality with Hindi. Do they have commonality with English? Why do these people want to impose English?
Okay. You've come to the point. Is it Hindi versus English? So first of all, 2-3 points, the questions which I asked, and I'm going to come to Mr. Sharma next. I asked, does India need an official common national language? Question number 1. Does India need a language officially that helps people from different parts of the country communicate? And should that language be English or Hindi? Frankly, that is the question, because I don't think it is anyone's argument.
Should I answer?
It is nobody's argument that regional language should not be promoted. By the way, before I come to you, Mr. Sharma, Ratan Sharda made a very interesting point. Those who are opposing Hindi, do their children study regional languages or English? Well, the fact is, those who are proponents of Hindi today as a national language, don't they want their children to study English? Does anyone not want their children to study English? Let me come to you, Mr. Sharma. Yes, sir, please.
Thank you very much. I think you have nailed the bullseye. Let us have a survey, and we have done it. Children of all the leading politicians from non-Hindi speaking states go to Hindi medium school. They are very good at Hindi. I had personal communication with many of the leaders from non-Hindi speaking areas, and they are very good at Hindi. Only when they are on television or they are on public platform, they do not use Hindi because the politics survives on Hindi. Is it not that Tamil Nadu itself was so much pro-Hindi before 1947? Only when we got freedom, there was, or they had to use a tool to be in power, and they started opposing. Now, why is it that DMK is opposing so much? Amit Shah did not say impose Hindi. What did he say? He is not a Hindi speaker, for God's sake. He is a Gujarati speaker, and he is pleading for Hindi. Why? Most of those who have been very, very emotional about Hindi are non-Hindi speakers. What did Gandhiji say? Let the world know Gandhi has forgotten English. Why was that? Unless and until we have a language of our own, an identity of our own, we would not be able to stand up before the world and put our views. Hindi can be the only language which can be the link language, and it's such a rich language. I'm not saying other languages are not, and that is why Amit Shah said, and I quite agree as a linguist, that all our languages are very rich. If Khadiya, Udao, Kho, all these languages are also not preserved, we will be losing so much of
preserving language
wealth
is a different
in these
thing.
languages.
Mr. Sharma.
Let us be very clear about one thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Finish your point. Finish your sentence.
Let us be clear about one thing.
Yeah.
Let us preserve all our languages.
No, so the question is
Let
not
us
about
preserve
preserving a
all
language.
our languages,
Of
but
course.
then one.
Of course, all languages must be preserved. I don't think that is the topic of debate at all. All languages must be preserved. The fact is that the job that Hindi movies and Bollywood has done to propagate, and music, Hindi music has done to propagate Hindi across various parts of the country, no official imposition can do that job. The question is about making something mandatory, making something officially a national language, and what about the many, many lakhs of Indians who are Indians, who speak in their own regional language, but don't know Hindi. They communicate through English. What about them? Garga, please come in.
No, I don't think that most of the people speak Hindi. English.
One sec,
English is
Garga,
spoken by
Garga.
less than 3% of the population.
One sec, Garga will, by the way, we are the second largest English speaking nation in the world. I don't know about percentage of population, that's a different point you're making, but in the world we're the second largest English speaking nation.
No.
And I love
Let me
Hindi.
clear.
I love Hindi, I've worked in
India
Hindi
is
for
the
several
India
years.
is
But
the
one sec,
second
Garga,
largest
let Garga
English
come in, let
speaking
Garga come in.
country.
Garga's turn, he's 1 versus 2 here, so he gets an extra chance. Yes, Garga.
The great leader of non-Hindi resistance against Hindi imperialism, C.N. Annadurai, okay, had said very pithily that we have our mother tongue. Every language is a regional language. It belongs to a region. Hindi is a regional language. Bangla is a regional language. Tamil is a regional language. Except our mother tongue, when we want to communicate with the world, with English we can communicate with the whole world, and with Hindi we can communicate as a non-Hindi person with areas which does not produce any revenue. Okay, practically, let us understand from our perspective. Okay. So, what we are seeing is promotion of Hindi. Almost 500 crores have been used in the last 4 years. Promotion of Urdu, which is same as Hindi, almost 333 crores. Bengali promotion by union government money, 0. Tamil promotion by union government money, 0. Think about it, Kannada promotion by union government money, 0. So, this is not true, first of all. We want it according to our numbers. And finally, we are producing, non-Hindi people are producing revenue, Hindi areas are producing babies, they are becoming 44%, 48%, and they have to be now given a price for lack of population control, and their language has to be imposed on us. Jobs are in non-Hindi areas, people have to learn the language, who is providing them jobs? People have to learn the language, who is providing them jobs?
No, Garga, this regional chauvinism I have an issue with. This regional chauvinism I have an issue with. Who's producing babies and who's producing revenue?
you have regional chauvinism because you are imposing Hindi on us. I am not imposing Hindi in Bihar.
I'm fluent
I
in
am
both
not
languages.
imposing Bangla in
Okay,
Bihar.
Ratan Sharda,
That is
some
chauvinism.
responses.
Nobody wants to
And I think-
impose Bangla in UP. Nobody wants to impose Bangla in UP. Why that needs to be Bangla in Hindi in Bengali?
The question
that's
is
the
what
point.
should be the
I am not
language?
calling for
One
Bangla
minute.
Garga,
in
hang
UP.
on. Garga,
Why
calm
do you
down.
want Hindi in
Garga,
Bengali?
calm
Garga
down.
needs to be
Wait.
sent to correction home.
Okay, 1 minute. Ratan Sharda, everyone be calm. Look, the best language is the one where we can understand each other. Communication is the idea. Let's communicate to our viewers. Yes, Ratan Sharda.
Yes. First of all, Garga has come up with so much of poison. He's so full of poison and hate. The way he has talked about North India, he should look at what Bengal has done during last 30 years of communist and Mamta's rules. So I will not get into politics of this. Hate against people is the worst kind of thing that a politician can do. He must stop it. Secondly, UPSC exams, last time he said, are conducted in 22 official languages. So stop saying that UPSC exams are held in only 2 languages. He is spreading falsehood. And for his information, Tamil Nadu has 1 lakh
90%
citizens
of
sitting
all
for
central
Hindi exams.
government
Garga, one by
Please
one.
stop your
Garga,
hate.
I don't know
Stop
Bengali,
your
but in
hate.
Hindi and English, I can tell you on
Stop
this
your
show we
hate.
speak one by one. When I come to you, then you speak, Garga. Otherwise, I'll have to mute you. I'll have to mute you, sir. You speak when I come to you. And I assume you can understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's because
So
so that
I
our viewers
said
can
in
understand what's
Tamil
happening.
Nadu,
You will get
whole
your
of
turn.
Northeast-
Yes, Ratan Sharda, please wrap your points
See,
up.
Tamanna, the whole of Northeast, let him go to Northeast, whole of Northeast speaks in Hindi very happily. I have gone there and people very happily speak in Hindi. So let him not pull in non-Hindi, etc. Thirdly, Tamil Nadu has 1 lakh examinees for Hindi every year in spite of all the hate thrown by Dravidian parties. Thirdly, he talked of Annadurai. Annadurai's whole politics was based on Aryan invasion theory, based on division of Dravidians and Aryans, which is totally falsified by history, including Mr. Ambedkar. So let us not look at the politicians, his whole life career is made on dividing people and languages. So all these arguments that he makes are totally nothing but hate-filled arguments. We need a link language. Even without saying, people are going for
The
Hindi,
language be
and
Hindi.
where people feel Hindi
No,
doesn't
let me
fulfill, they go
come to
for
the
English.
point, because
there
even
is no
as I
quarrel
wrap-
anywhere.
even
But
as
if you
I-
want a
no,
link
why-
language, what is wrong?
why should
What
it be
does
Hindi?
what does Constitution
Why
say?
should it be Hindi?
No, Tamanna, Constitution said, just a moment. Constitution, Tamanna ji, Constitution said that we will have Hindi as
Yeah.
official language till the time it is possible. We will carry on with English. That was the stand. So Constitution gives primacy to Hindi and second position to English. So we should not become two sahibs, and we will accept a foreign language as our
English is an
language. He
expected-
taught of communication.
English is an
Japanese,
accepted-
Russians, Germans,
English is an
do they
accepted
speak in
Indian
English?
language now.
They have thrived
Practically,
on their
practically.
language.
Okay, let me
He
come-
is a
let me come to
colonial
practically.
slave.
Mr. Sharma, you're an
Garga
educationist.
is a colonial slave.
No, come
So
on.
what?
No personal attacks. No regional chauvinism.
See-
Don't call each other names. If you all want
No
to call
co-
each other's names, I'll share your numbers. You all can do it after the show. Don't do it on the show. Please, I request you. Mr. Sharma, as an
I
educationist,
said Japanese, Russians, nobody had their
I-
English as their
Yes.
language.
no, the fact
Let
is,
me-
the
let me
fact
put
is-
some facts.
No, okay.
Let me
Mr.
put
Sharma,
some
let me
facts.
come to you as an educationist, and let me request you. Let's not now talk about 1947 and what Gandhiji said. All that is important. Let's jog to current day. The fact is that the aspirational Indian, from the bottom up, wants their children to know English, so that they can get ahead in the world, they can be global citizens. Children of elite class right now is trying to learn Mandarin,
See,
so that they can, in the future, converse with the other largest population in the world. This is the actual world of aspiration we live in. Why don't you address it in that context?
right. Okay, let me answer now the question. English definitely is a global language and it is a link language between nations. Okay? But don't forget the fact that 3% of Indians speak English. This 3% population of India makes it larger than the population of Australia or even the population of New Zealand and other English speaking countries. We are larger English speaking country, but that's not because majority speak English. Let's be very clear. We, the elite who have been exploiting others at the name of English, know English, and we have been trying to impose English on others. Hindi. Hindi is a link language which is not a contiguous language. Mandarin is a contiguous language spoken by one group of people in one land. It is not spoken by people of different lands. Hindi is globally available, and the large diaspora of India speaks Hindi.
So we're not talking about the diaspora.
Hindi is the language,
they speak
or
Bollywood.
Hindi can be the language.
They speak
which can
Bollywood.
Be, please
the
let me
large
complete my
diaspora
argument.
speaks Bollywood. Okay, I'm so sorry. I have to
Fine,
wrap up.
whatever may be
I
the
have
reason,
to wrap up.
whatever
I
may
have
be
to
the
wrap
reason,
up.
whether it is the diaspora or it is the Bollywood,
Yeah.
whichever is the reason, but then Hindi has got spread across globe, and it is heard and sung and
Garga, I'm sorry, I've
spoken,
run out of
across the
time.
globe.
I have to wrap.
See,
I'll give you one last
I
sentence,
just need
Mr.
30
Sharma.
seconds. I just need 30 seconds.
One last sentence to Sharma. Garga, one line and
Yes,
then I'm
I
need
wrapping.
10 seconds.
I've already gone over.
Just 10 seconds.
No, I can't complete
all
Badal
the
Chata.
toppers in India either come from regional language, all they come from Hindi language.
Today-
None of them
today
comes from
the-
English.
today the-
What
None
is
of the
it?
toppers comes from English language. Remember this, so our language remains local, and
Yeah.
Hindi, it doesn't become
No,
foreign language.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay.
Now let me answer, please.
No, you have 10 seconds, Garga.
Today the Constitution of India is not available in any non-Hindi language. So what is he talking about? This is how fundamental the problem is. Today a Bengali cannot give Indian Army exams in the mother tongue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bosu.
All right,
This is
wait.
how we are being made second class citizens.
Okay,
You
1
do
minute.
Hindi promotion
I
with your
I
money,
don't think anyone
not
is
with
a
our
second
money.
class citizen. I'm going to wrap this debate here. The important message is not to impose. Why have I kept on taking the example of the Hindi film industry and the impact that they've had on the Indian language. If you propagate in this way, where people want to learn to communicate with each other, it will be much more acceptable than any kind of an imposition. Meanwhile, let's not make this about Hindi versus English. The more we know, the more we can communicate with each other and the rest of the world, the better it is going to be for all of us. Let's not make it a question of regional chauvinism. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us on the show this evening. Thank you to you viewers for watching the India Development Debate. I'll see you back here tomorrow.